Hey everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Alexia and I am a coach for moms. I started my business 4 years ago and it has definitely been a journey. I've been through a lot of ups and downs, different challenges, such as, knowing how to structure my business, what all goes into owning a business, the amount of time and money and effort it takes to run a business, and I want to share some of that knowledge with y'all. So, in today's presentation, I am going to talk about some of those challenges and how you can juggle family and entrepreneurship. So, a little bit about me. My name is Alexia, and I am a wife and mom of five. I have three boys and two girls. I, again, am a certified coach for moms. I love visiting different restaurants and trying new foods. I'm always down for whatever new place has opened up in the city. My favorite family activity is I love traveling with my family. At the end of this year, we are actually set to go on a cruise together. My first cruise, I went with my mom last year, and this year we all decided for her 50th birthday to go as a family on a cruise. So it'll be there for my children's first time, my husband's first time, and I'm just glad that we all get to go together as a family, and I cannot wait. I just know we're going to have so much fun. Okay, so the first step to being able to juggle parenthood with entrepreneurship is having a solid routine. Routines keep order and they keep you sane. Having a solid routine allows you to balance multiple demands. A routine is a systematic way of doing things in order to form a habit. This helps keep you organized and accountable to whatever goal you want to accomplish. Routines also help you maximize your time and avoid the day passing you by without getting things done. If you are someone who struggles with routines, I highly suggest that you develop a time management strategy. So the one that worked for me, because I'm actually not one who likes to be boxed in too much. A lot changes in my life. I'm constantly busy and pulled in multiple different directions, right? So for me, my routine is having a strict morning and evening routine, and then through the day, blocking off time that I know is that I know I have free, and filling those blocks of times with different tasks. So allocating a certain amount of time to a task. So, for example, my mornings consist of us waking up at the same time every day, and it's the same order of events. So they eat breakfast, they wake up, they get dressed, they brush their teeth, they eat breakfast, they pack their lunch, pack their book bag, I get the baby together, and then boom, we're out the door. Now, things can happen in between, but that sequence of events rarely changes. And then for the evening, I cook dinner. I try to have dinner done by 6 or 7 p.m. They eat dinner. Well, they take a shower first and then they eat dinner. And then they usually have like an hour to relax. They'll watch a little bit of TV. And by 9 o'clock, it's lights out. It's bedtime. Everybody's asleep, including, my 2-year-old. He's fell into line because this schedule, I've had this going for years. I mean, it's had to be like 5+ years. And I've had to implement some things, get a little stricter in some areas, repeat. But it's gotten to the point where now is down packed, is solid. My children know what to do, they know what to expect. To the point where I rarely have to say anything anymore other than to keep them on pace, because they get sidetracked and all that stuff. But having a solid routine is very important, because in between that time, when I drop my children off and before I pick them up, that is the time that I am able to work and get things done. Even when my baby was home with me before he went to daycare, I knew that this was the hours that I had to be able to work. And so I would come up with a plan for the day. What am I going to work on? And I would dedicate a certain period of time to do just that. Whether that is just 30 minutes or an hour, I will pick just a couple things, 2 to 3 things that I felt like were important to get done, and, not overwhelm myself with a whole bunch of other tasks. Now, having a solid routine allows you to have, again, those extra pockets of time to work on, your business, or to get things done during the day, or just having more time for self-care. And the benefits of self-care include less stress. You have more patience and love for yourself and your family. You are able to delegate tasks more easily, and that includes you setting a boundary, you getting your family involved, and you teaching your children independence. That is a big one. It can be easy for us to either want to be in control over everything, take over everything, or to, baby our children and, want to do everything for them, and stuff like that. But you teaching them independence is going to help you, and it's going to help them, because it's teaching them skills that they're going to need later on in life. And finally, self-care allows you to have more free time. So you're able to use those pockets of free time for you and create a life outside of your children. Why are multiple streams of income important? In today's world, and if you watch the news, you know what is going on. There's a lot going on. In today's world, having an additional income stream is necessary. Prices have gotten higher, yet minimum wage has remained the same. Layoffs are increasing. People are struggling to provide everyday needs. And this is putting a lot of stress on families who need to work and care for their family without losing themselves. If you were to lose your job today, how else would you make money? I put together a list of side hustle apps. These apps include Fiverr, Upwork, TaskRabbit, Surveys, Airbnb, Turo, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Viho, Etsy, Inbox Dollars, Poshmark. There are a variety of different apps and side hustles that you can do to begin to bring in a source of income, some of them that day. Now, some of the survey ones, you have to do a certain amount of surveys or hit a certain threshold before you are able to cash out and get your money. Then some survey apps or whatever, they don't give you actual cash. They may give you like rewards or something like that. So just be aware of what the parameters and the requirements are. But most of the delivery gigs, they pay you that day. You're able to cash out um, daily. Now, the thing is that it requires a form of transportation. You do have to use a car, and it can put wear and tear on your car. But at the end of the year, you will get tax write-offs because you are what is called an independent contractor. And an independent contractor is essentially their own business. They essentially own their own business. They're a business owner without you having to file an LLC for that. And so you are able to take advantage of tax deductions of business owners, which includes expenses such as oil changes, gas, mileage, any car repairs that you get done in order to keep up this business, for you to be able to continue to do orders and stuff like that. So there is a benefit to it, even though, there are some downsides. So definitely weigh the pros and the cons and see which one is best for you. Take a picture of this, and refer to it for later. I personally have done DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, Shipped, um, and Upwork. And personally, Instacart was the easiest and paid the most. All right, so how do you maintain both your hustle and your peace? You want to set non negotiable boundaries. Treat self care like a business meeting. Block off time in your calendar. You want to work in focused sprints. Use techniques like Pomodoro or time blocking to get more done in less time, leaving space to relax. Delegate and automate. You don't have to do it all. Use tools and systems in order to take the pressure off and free up your mental space. And then finally, check in with yourself weekly. Focus on how you feel. Create a CEO type morning or night routine. Be mindful of what leaves you depleted and celebrate your small wins. Small wins build up to bigger wins, and you're able to learn a lot of lessons along the way. So, what is the recipe for creating multiple streams of income? Again, it all starts with you having a solid routine. You want to wake up early, preferably before everyone else wakes up, so that you can, for one, have that time for yourself. You're able to decompress and meditate or pray or whatever it is that you need in order to get your day going without immediately jumping into parent mode. You want to start your day with an intention and plan your day. Time block tasks, and remember, consistency is key. You're going to have to do this over and over and over in order for it to get ingrained in you and in your family that this is the way things need to be in order for things to move smoothly. And again, delegate as much as you possibly can. Two is research. Start with what you already know. If you are already working in a job, are there skills, knowledge, things that you've learned in that job that you can use to start a business, or you can use in your business? If you are a nurse, is there a way that you can start a business where you create digital products, digital study guides for nurses? You already have the knowledge, you know what nurses need, you know what is required in order to pass that nursing test, and you can create this product and it'll make it more relatable because you already have the experience. Google everything. Google is free. So much is on the internet right now. So if you have any questions and you're not able to get the answer immediately, you can Google things. Now everybody is using Chat GPT. Chat GPT is a good resource. I know some people feel iffy about AI, but Chat GPT is really good at getting you a start on an idea or a question or anything like that. And then what are your strengths, resources, and passion? When starting a business, you want it to intersect between these three. You want the business to be based off of your strengths, be based off of what resources you have available, and what your passion is. But you also want to make sure that it's profitable as well. We could sometimes have passions that is not in high demand, or that no one is really willing to pay for. So you have to be mindful of that. Next is to build. Start to build your business. Start to build out who your business is for. Who is your target audience? What problem can you solve that people are willing to pay for? And then create a marketing strategy. 4 is to go ahead and start create the product or service that is a solution, create the website or the landing page or the social media page to promote the product or service, and then create content and video to then promote your business. All right, so that's all I have for this presentation. Thank you so much for listening, for being here. If you are ready to improve your credit, build a business, and get funding for that business, then I have an ebook that goes over to repair your personal credit, which is essential in qualifying for a lot of business funding, credit, lending, and then how to set up and structure your business in order to meet a lot of lending requirements, what vendors and lenders are looking for, which lenders and vendors um, approve new businesses with little to no documentation, and how to build business credit the right way. If that is of interest to you, scan this QR code and you can download that today. If you would like step-by-step guidance, again, I provide coaching and done-for-you products and services to help individuals thrive in their environment. All right, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening.